It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it. Be clear about it. Get in the ring about it. uh, yeah, the world is a very fickle place. We say it over and over again. Most people don't seem to get it. One crack news, but hopefully you guys get it. Yesterday it was like 70 degrees outside, and today it's snowing. Welcome to global warming. None of this snow will stick. But it kind of ain't the point. Yep. You ever wonder why most of these people who sit there and they come up with these innuendos and they come up with all these different, well, I want to say attitude problems that other people put in place, and they know they wrong, and instead of doing what the right thing is and apologize, that would take people a lot further than actually going backwards. You see, a lot of people looked at Drake and he had all these beefs with people, right? Then they went back and they meshed it all up and they apologized and moved forward together. And that was better for Drake. Because now instead of having all these people rolling around years later, they broke and they mad and they still harboring all these feelings for you. You done forgot about them, but they still want to harm you. Because they feel you going against them is what embarrassed and ruined their careers. So they're harboring all of these bad feelings when they're the ones who started it in the first place. That's what's wrong with these people. They're emotionally imbalanced. They don't even know how to apologize for something. Something goes wrong, they don't even have a clue about how to go about apologizing for what transpired. Because it's not in them. It's not in them to do. They'll go around this whole world lying and continuously lie rather than face the fact and say, hey, I'm sorry. You know, like, let's just move forward. Let's change directions. Let's go in this direction instead of the direction we've been going in. You see women do this. You see men do it. All a man had to do is say, you know what, that's my bad. I was wrong. They want to apologize to get something over with, but they don't want to mean it and actually make the change. They'll just go back to doing it and make the apology empty. So when I speak on apologizing, I don't mean an empty apology. I mean someone who emphasizes on it, you know. Now women do it too. They expect to get away with everything or say they sorry, would even offer sex to get out of the situations, which I gladly took, but still didn't forget. This is the last time, and I mean it. Don't do it again. It's nice out here. I know. Tell me about it. It's really nice. If you're in a car that's heated. Yeah, I got my bets going on tonight, so I'm trying to chill and relax. A little worn out, to be honest. A little worn out. Because it's always so much at stake for you on your end. Have you always noticed that you're the one that's always extending the olive branch? If you're the one that's always extending the olive branch and they're not, you gotta quit overextending yourself. See, some people won't apologize if they're always gonna wait for you to do it. They already know you gonna do it, so they're like, why are they gonna do it? Even if it ain't your fault, you just always overextending. You're enabling that person to treat you in such a way they don't have to show you any respect. Never be that person. See, when you're that person, the whole world thinks they get to tell you what to do and how you should live your life, X, Y, and Z. Well, when people realize that they were wrong or they did something that was improbable, then maybe they would come to their senses. That's how I see it. But you see people today, they don't want to do it. They don't want to admit they were wrong or accept fault. So you have drama lingering for years or whatever. If something's truly my fault, I'll definitely take full responsibility. I have no problem in doing that. But when you keep overextending for people and you keep allowing these people to not have to apologize or atone for anything that they do, that's why you have bad blood, you have disrespect of people. Some of these people are just envious of you. They don't have any respect, and they move in a way that's so disrespectful that you don't even respect them anyhow. I've never been one to sit there and say, oh, this person is X, Y, and Z. They did this for me. They did that for me. They was 10 toes down, but this is how I truly feel. You know, you go behind their back and start talking about it. That's not cool. Like, you get people, random strangers on YouTube who you don't even know, try to get you to talk bad about other YouTubers that you cool with and never shown you no disrespect. You could be the right package at the wrong address. Exactly. That is the perfect way to put it. You could be the right package, but at the wrong address. That's a relationship right there. So when you the right package at the wrong address, you better hope they send you back to the post office. Because they'll sit there and open it up. I'm keeping it. You be stuck. Hey, some people that just can't see the light, they see the dollar signs. And you see that a lot too. People only think about is money. It's like that's all they care about is money. Money is, you think, is the key to happiness. It really isn't. It's more problems, it's more people breathing down your throat, it's more headaches, and you had a much easier time when you had less. Nobody expected nothing from you. You can do whatever you wanted to do, when you wanted to do it, nobody cared. Nobody gave a damn about what you did. Now, everybody's an expert. Everybody gonna tell you what to invest in, and they broke. Everybody's gonna tell you all of these things, and then when something go wrong, they don't even know how to say they sorry. They give you bad investment advice. And I remember I just really invested the money with him, just so I wouldn't hear about it no more. I didn't even expect it to do well because I knew it wouldn't. I said, here you go, man. Now I knew this person wasn't going to have the money back, wasn't going to have anything back. This is like not going to work. I'm like, but you need to see this. Now this is going to have you in a hole. I already know how this is going to go. You're going to be in a hole, and you're going to be trying to figure out, how am I going to pay this back? And you're going to be stressed. I'm not going to worry about it. But you're going to stress yourself, because now you got to hide from people. Instead of just saying, man, my bad, that's on me, I'll take that one. Instead of doing that, my bad, I'll take that. What you doing? I wasn't really paying him to leave. I was teaching him a lesson. Because this was somebody that I actually know that in real life that did this. So I was trying to teach him a lesson. It's like, you know, you one of us, you know, so we cool, we know you in real life. Let me teach you a lesson. Okay? You won't hear me tell you no, 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 and vet, do research. You know everything, you've done everything, you know what's to, okay, all right. You just need somebody to believe in you. Okay, fine. Here we go. Now let's see what happens. And of course he lost the money. He don't know how. And he's ashamed. Everything I said was going to happen, happened. He was determined to prove me wrong, but he proved me right. And all he had to do was say, man, I'm sorry. But instead, he ran. He ducking and hiding from people because he felt like he lost all their money and it wasn't his fault, but everybody's going to blame him. But of course they are, because like I told him, this is what's going to be the results. Other people are going to be wanting their money back. And they're going to be like, where's my money? I want my money back. Where's this books? I want to see this. I was like, I already know you got swindled by those people. They swindled you. And you didn't see it coming. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't hear it from me. So now, those people you owe, you're going to have to hear it from them. And then, I never said anything to him about it. But, he's ducking and hiding. So why would you duck and hide if you've done nothing wrong? Why would you duck and hide from people? It's the shame. He can't say, I'm sorry. He can't say, you know, this was my bad and it's my fault. I can accept the responsibility like a man. They're just ducking and hiding. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's how I feel about it. You know, I stand on the things that I say and when I move. So it's just the way it is. I'm not disappointed in him. I'm just like, it's like teaching somebody a lesson that they need to go through it in order for them to learn and understand the lesson. You know, no matter how much you tell them and how much you know more than what they know, they think they know more. I know nothing about it. I'm like, I know nothing about this deal of this company or this thing, but I've seen this show. I know how it goes, and there's too much secrecy. It's not transparent enough. But you know what? You got it, man. After all this no, I've been giving him, you know, and he's making this a big thing, like nobody believing in him. I said, you know what? Let me do this for you. And this is going to show you and teach you a lesson. The lesson was one of growth. So when you have growth in your life and you have people that are trying to help you grow, but you just see the money. You see what other people have. Like, let's use Floyd Mayweather for an example. They see Floyd, they see Floyd's money. So if Floyd's trying to help them, get him advice to try to get better, they thinking, well, all right, well, I need the money. Floyd's there. Floyd got all this money. So that means I'm going to have all this money. It don't work that way. Nothing comes without hard work. You think Floyd just walk in the ring and beat somebody? Nobody out trains him either. He works hard without being told to get up. And he could just take the night off if he felt like it. He's a multi-millionaire, but he want to get up and run and stay in shape. That's where the dedication comes in. So because of what other people have and looking at other people's money as your money, you know, you're setting yourself up for a large fall. People invest by getting, but there's transparency getting people together. There's no room for them to get there. They don't know how to structure it to get there. And you want to kind of go through the group to get there. Because when you go through a group, a powerful group, they have powerful clients, powerful friends. Rich people invest with rich people. That's how it works. Everybody's looking for that shortcut, that quick, get rich quick. Do this in 5 minutes and you'll be rich. If that was the case, everybody be rich. The guy that was telling you to do it, he ain't that rich. That's a telemarketer or whatever. Now, when you invest in these like companies or whatever, no, it ain't like I gave him $20,000 or nothing. No, I ain't give him nothing like that. I gave him something that I would spend at the casino. I was just like, that's what he was asking for. What he was asking for is a lot for him. To me, that's a trip to the casino. So I'm like, all right, well, here, there you go. Let's see what happens. Prove me wrong. And he did not. So I don't have any any type of feelings whatsoever about it. You know, my whole thing is like, you know, like, it is what it is. You know, I hate that he has to go through this, but as a man, you gotta face reality. You can't duck and dodge. What you gonna do? Duck and dodge from these people for the rest of your life? You gonna run into those people that, you know, they lost money with you. You gotta face it. I'd rather face it up front, look them in the eye, and said, hey, I didn't rob you. I got hit too. Or no, this, you know, like, go through it like a man. When you cower and don't face people the way you should, then this is the reality you're faced with. Most of these people aren't going to respect you, especially in this game. In this game, there's a small margin of error for anybody involved. All these parties and people involved, you can forget that. Well, riddle yourself this, right? Why do they always say this is the route to go? This is the investment plan. I don't know if you're familiar with the company Mariano's, right? There was a chance to own a piece of the Mariano's brand. And I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Man, we could run our own Mariano's. No, don't do that. It's like a grocery store chain. And I said, nah, don't do that. Don't get involved in that. Mariano's is going to get bought out. The CEOs, you got to look at the CEOs, you got to look at the presidents of the company. You got to see how, you know, everything's working and what the company financials are looking like. You got to actually go through these reports before you start investing in something. And just saying because of the name and you know the name. And because you know it don't mean everybody in the world knows it. I told you, we almost bought a McDonald's. We had the partners here. You know, McDonald's started here in Illinois. Well, not the real, but the corporation, right? This is like the hub of McDonald's. Not far from where I live is the area where they call McDonald's 1. The first McDonald's. Even though it isn't, it's the first one Ray Kroc calls McDonald's 1. Here in Des Plaines, Illinois. Just by my house. So McDonald's became a restaurant to a real estate investment where you can basically own and be an owner of your own single McDonald's. McDonald's would take 4%, and that goes to the Ray Kroc and everybody else, and you're keeping like 96% of the profits. And of course you got to, you know, take care of the payments and everything else. But as far as the earnings of what McDonald's get, they're only taking like 4%. So this is the everybody call it the Ray Kroc system, because he kept building more McDonald's, and as he built more McDonald's, he just would take 4%, and make whoever was the president, the guy who can run the operations, make him an owner, and say, hey, you're gonna own this restaurant right here. I'll just take 4%, and the rest of it is yours. So now he's making money off that one McDonald's, but Ray Kroc is getting 4% and moving on, and he don't have to do anything. That 4% keeps going on for life. So look how many locations McDonald's have now. All those 4% add up, and Ray Kroc's been dead for about 30, 40 years now. His great-great-grandchildren never have to eat a McDonald's burger, never have to say a McDonald's commercial or nothing. And they got that 4% keep coming in. For life. All them 4% add up. So that's called the Ray Kroc system. And it's been going on, and other corporations have been trying to mimic it for years. Because, well, that 4% keeps you in a very low tax bracket there. And all that 4%, that's why I try to own like less than 4% of a company. It's not necessarily good to own a majority stake in the company. It depends on the corporation or what type of business you're in. So if you own a big, large majority share, the responsibilities will fall more on your head, and the penalties will fall more on your head. So you got to be careful with that. It's just like with Charlemagne and this black effect. They said, oh, Charlemagne, you got 51%. We take 49%. Now you're the majority owner of this black effect. He like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But iHeartRadio, they ain't responsible for nothing. It's all on Charlemagne. But they get 49%. Meanwhile, Charlemagne got all of the stress. If something don't work out with the black effect, it's all on him. They're all looking at him, saying, what's going on? Why this ain't working? Why this is this and this? They turn to Charlemagne. Nobody gonna turn to iHeartRadio about anything. They own 49%. But it looks like, oh yeah, it's all black owned. He's a majority black owned thing, right? See, we got to be careful how we present ourselves and how we put ourselves out there in the world of business, because how you're represented and how you're representing yourself is very important when it comes to taking deals. Sometimes taking less money is the best money, But you don't know that. That's what happened to Versus. And that's what I told everybody, and they didn't believe me. And when the deal went down and went sour, I knew what went wrong without even being in the room. They were so big, Swiss Beats, and they were so big headed. Swiss thought he was the businessman. And oh man, we got a big bag. With a big bag come big responsibilities. And Triller knew exactly how to screw you out your money. And they did it legally. And you went for the big bag. You got to hit benchmarks. You don't get all that money up front. Yeah, it looked like a big contract. Yeah, if you could keep hitting those benchmarks. And if you can't hit those benchmarks, guess what, buddy boy? You don't get that money. They don't have to pay you either. And now you're going to go to court crying, which they've been fighting with Triller the whole time. Still with the Versus thing. Now you see the Versus battles ain't been happening, nothing. Because we got to pull the plug on it. Because they own it. You see? You got to sometimes take money. So you could take a deal that has more realistic goals and benchmarks you can hit. Now, this video is very informative, and a lot of people don't understand because they don't have any knowledge in their head to be able to teach and be able to give people tips and things like this. And this is why on the Patreon we're going to go further with this conversation so that you would understand what it's actually like, you know, dealing with this measure of success for people. You know, it's a lot of people out there that just don't get it. They don't understand. They don't know or have the notion to want to do better for themselves. You know, it's just the way of the world. I didn't want to be in the restaurant business, but I would own a restaurant. Because I know the problems that comes with a restaurant. I'd rather own a blockchain than just a regular restaurant. I'd rather have something like a McDonald's, an In-N-Out Burger. I want a fast food restaurant, if anything. I wouldn't want a regular restaurant because those have more problems. Not just with employees. That's just one of the problems. The major problem that they have is outside of the employees. You have to deal with things of portion control. You got to learn how to order food accustomed to how much you're selling it, because you'll be throwing food out. Food will be spoiling because you're not selling it, you're not cooking it. Now you got too much oregano, you got too much lettuce, tomatoes. You know, shelf life of this food is, you don't want to be putting old food out there for people. So when you're selling fresh, you know, at a restaurant, you got fresh foods that's in the freezer. You got to make sure you understand that there's a shelf life to all of this food. And in a restaurant, you don't know, you got to be familiar with what's going to sell, what's not, what do you have that you can make. And, you know, it's a lot more than just cooking. So with a restaurant, you got to be sure. That's why restaurant businesses are mostly family ran. You know, it's like a family business. The whole family's involved in it. because it's really hard to maintain and run without being hands-on the business. So yeah, I would rather get a black chain fast food restaurant and go into different owning of brands. Like I said, we're going to do that on the Patreon. So if you're a member of the Carcino for Life Patreon, you'll appreciate that a lot more. And I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Buzz Life, Ticket TV, The Dreamers Pro,